Hello everyone, welcome to GS. Today in this session we are going to discuss about an initiative called as Prelims Skilling through PYQs, that is previous year questions, and the subject of discussion is environment and ecology, and the theme on which we will be discussing about PYQs is climate change. So let us start with our discussion. Before we discuss about previous year questions, let us try to understand the importance of this theme. Why this theme of climate change is important? First of all, it is mentioned in the syllabus. Right? Syllabus explicitly mentions about climate change, right? And as a result of that, number of questions have been asked on climate change. Number of questions have been asked, right? Similarly, if you track the initiatives that have been taken by government in various aspects of or in various sectors of economy, for example, in building construction, right? In building construction, there is a focus on green buildings. In fuel or energy sector, there is more reliance on those sources of energy which are environmentally, let's say, clean sources of energy. Right? At the international forums, India has committed that by 2070 we will achieve our net zero emissions. By 2030, it is committed that India will reduce its carbon emission intensity by 45%. Now, if all this is the commitment that India has given at international forums, obviously we will have to align our economic activities with these goals. And that's why the questions that are getting asked by UPSC have also increased, because we are living in the we are living in the times of climate change. And that's why it is important to understand the concepts related to climate change. It is important to understand what are the solutions that we have related to climate change, right? So third important aspect that we can highlight is that we are facing climate change. We are facing climate change, and hence the government has launched number of initiatives for climate change mitigation or climate change solution. Towards climate change solution, number of initiatives have been asked, and that's why you are able to see number of questions that are being asked by UPSC on this particular theme. So that is what is the importance of theme. Every economic activity is these days getting aligned with climate change solutions, and that's why number of questions are getting asked. So let us move towards our discussion of questions to understand or to focus on the topics which are more important from the exam's perspective, right? So based on the discussion that we will be having in next 10-15 minutes, you'll able to understand what are the important topics under climate change that you should focus more upon, right? So first question is, consider the following activities. First, spreading finely ground basalt rock on farmlands extensively. So what is the question? How many of the above activities are often considered and discussed for carbon capture and sequestration? This question is of Prelims 2023. Carbon capture and sequestration is a buzzword these days. Why? Because every country has committed net zero emissions. Net zero emissions does not mean zero emissions. Net zero emissions means that there are enough carbon sinks available, or there is availability of carbon capture and sequestration technology to capture emissions that are done by a particular country. And that's why carbon capture and sequestration is an important technology. So which of these activities are discussed in the context of carbon capture and sequestration? First, spreading finely ground basalt rock on farmlands extensively. Now, basalt rock, when is spread on farmlands, it is exposed to CO2 that is present in the atmosphere, and it will react with that CO2, thereby storing this CO2. And that's why, yes, it is a technique to take care of excessive CO2 present in the atmosphere. First. Second, increasing the alkalinity of oceans by adding lime. So if we make oceans more alkaline, what will happen? There will be enough space available for the dissolution of more CO2, and that's why that is also a solution. Third, capturing carbon dioxide released by various industries and pumping it into abundant subterranean mines in the form of carbonated waters, that is also a solution, but not a very it's not a very appropriate solution, because this carbonated water which we are trying to store in mines may leak, right? And that's why it's not very good solution, but it is a part of carbon capture and sequestration. So all three is the answer, but here focus should be on topic. Topic is climate change solutions. So you should build your understanding of climate change, and especially you should focus on what are the solutions that can be put forward to handle climate change, right? So that is first. So answer of this question is all three. All three are correct. Next question is climate action tracker, which monitors the emission reduction pledges of different countries, is A. Now, these kind of initiatives are being asked by UPSC often, and that's why if there is any significant initiative that comes in news, then that becomes, especially in the context of climate change solution, because climate action tracker, what it is related to climate change solution only, because countries have pledged that they will do something related to climate change, and those pledges are tracked by the climate action tracker. So what it is a database created by coalition of research organizations. So this particular question is related to climate change solutions, but more of a climate change solution current affairs, right? And it is initiated by Climate Analytics and New Climate Institute. These two organizations have started this particular initiative. Answer of this question is A, right? So again, climate change solutions, current affairs. Next. So first question was related to let's say the concepts. This is related to information, current based information. Next is, which one of the following best describes the term greenwashing? Now, UPSC is fond of these kind of terms. Often they ask questions related to new terms. For example, greenwashing is one. There is another question called as what is blue carbon, right? So these kind of terms are being asked by UPSC. Again, greenwashing is related to climate change, wherein certain organizations or industries, they say that their products are environment friendly, or they have been developed based on environment friendly practices, but in reality that is not the case. It is only a kind of lip service by those industries. In reality, they are continuing with business as usual, but they are merely on the face of it, they are saying that the product is a product which is developed based on environment friendly operations, but that is not the case, and that kind of practice is called as greenwashing. So answer of this question is A, conveying a false impression that a company's products are eco-friendly and environmentally sound, right? So this is a newspaper thing. You may come across these kind of terms in newspaper. So again, this kind of term or these kind of questions you can address based on current affairs. Answer is A. Next, what is blue carbon, right? So again, question is, what is blue carbon? Now, this is again related to carbon sequestration. And we have already discussed that carbon sequestration is a part of climate change solutions. So, more questions are there on climate change solutions, both conceptual understanding of climate change solution and information, current information related to climate change solution. So, answer of this question is A. Carbon captured by oceans and coastal ecosystems is called as blue carbon. Answer of this question is A. Next. Now, this is a typical question. Again, this is related to climate change solutions only. Why? Because the question is talking about climate smart agriculture. So, climate smart agriculture is a kind of climate change solution only, wherein we will try to make sure that agriculture is not adding new emissions to the atmosphere, right? So, climate smart agriculture would be environment friendly agriculture, that kind of agriculture which will lead to lesser emission, and that kind of agriculture which will be able to withstand the onslaught of climate change related activities, right? So, this is again current affairs related question. Question is, in the context of climate, India's preparation for climate smart agriculture, consider the following statements. First, the climate smart village approach in India is a part of a project led by the Climate Change, Agriculture and Food Security and International Research Program. Right, so that statement is a correct statement. It is current affairs related to climate change solutions. So there is an initiative called as Climate Smart Village Initiative or approach, and that approach is a part of Climate Change, Agriculture and Food Security and International Research Program. First statement is correct statement. Second, the project, that means the project of CCAFS, that is this climate change, agriculture and food security. The project of CCAFS is carried out under consultative group on international agriculture research, CGIAR, headquartered in France, right? So again, information, that statement is a correct statement, right? So this project CCAFS is carried out by one of the organizations which is headquartered in France, and that organization is Consultative Group on International Agricultural Research. Second statement is also correct. Third, the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics, ICRISAT, in India is one of the CGIAR's research center. So this CGIAR, which is headquartered in France, has its research centers, and one of the research centers is in the International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics, and this institute is there in Hyderabad. It's there in Hyderabad. Right? So this statement is also a correct statement. So all three statements are correct statements, and that's why answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. Right? So all three statements are correct. Again, this is climate change solution related question. Which type of? Current affairs. Current affairs related question. Fine. So answer of this question is D. Next question is, in rural road construction, the use of which of the following is preferred for ensuring environmental sustainability or to reduce carbon footprint? So road construction activity where we use tar, it is often considered as an activity which is not in sync with let's say environmental sustainability, and that's why often we are trying to find out new solutions for this road construction activity. So we are supposed to find out which of these activities are more environment friendly, right? So first is copper slag. Now copper slag is produced during the refining of copper, and as copper is refined, there will be a byproduct that will be able to get, and that byproduct is copper slag. So obviously, if a byproduct is being used for the development of roads, that would be an environment friendly practice. Why? Because in that case, our dependency on tar, which is environmentally harmful, dependency on tar would reduce, and that will help us reduce carbon footprint. So first statement is obviously correct statement. Second is cold mix asphalt technology. Now, in cold mix asphalt technology, there is no need to carry out heating of asphalt. Asphalt is a material that is used in road construction. Often, this asphalt is heated and then it is laid on the platform to develop roads. But when we use cold mix asphalt technology, there is no need of heating of this asphalt, and that would reduce use of fossil fuels, thereby reducing the emissions. And that's why this is also environment friendly approach. Third is geotextile. Geotextile is also used in road construction, and that helps us reduce carbon emission, because in that case our use of let's say various kinds of construction materials that are environmentally harmful will reduce, right? And it also increases the strength of soil, and that's why durability of roads also increase. So first three are correct. Hot mix is not, hot mix asphalt technology is not correct. Why? Because if it is hot mix, that means we will have to burn or we will have to carry out heating of asphalt. That is not environment friendly. So fourth is incorrect. Fifth is Portland cement. Portland cement activities needs lots of energy, fossil fuel based energy, and that's why it is again not environment friendly. So only first three are environment friendly, and that's why answer is A, 1, 2, and 3. Right. So this is little let's say mix of both current affairs as well as static concept. Right. Answer of this question is A. Again related to climate change solutions. Next question. Next question is according to India's national policy on biofuels, which of the following can be used as raw materials for the production of biofuels? Right. So which of these raw materials are used for production of biofuels as per the national policy on biofuels? So again, biofuels are used in order to reduce carbon footprint. That means again it is a climate change solution. So as per the policy, raw material that can be used is cassava, damaged wheat grains, groundnut seeds are not, horse gram is also not, rotten potatoes and sugar beet can be used for the production of biofuels. So answer of this question is 1, 2, 5, 6, that is mentioned in answer A. Right. So again climate change solution, and during that particular year, I think this question was asked in prelims 2021. So in that particular year, national policy on biofuel is in news even today. It is in news even today, and that's why this you can consider as a current affairs related question related to climate change solution. Answer is A. Right. Next question is the common carbon metric supported by UNEP has been developed for. So this common carbon metric developed by or supported by UNEP is associated with the assessment of carbon emissions from buildings, right? There has to be some uniform metric that will be used in order to understand how green buildings are. For that purpose, this metric has been developed called as common carbon metric. So answer of this question is A, assessing the carbon footprint of building operations around the world. So this is again related to climate change solutions. So this is current affairs related question. Fine. So based on this, we can conclude that in order to study climate change theme under the environment and ecology subject, it is important to focus on the conceptual aspects related to climate change solutions, and at the same time current affairs of climate change solutions is often asked by UPSC, and that's why those one-liner questions wherein they are asking about the initiatives of some important organizations should be the focus of aspirants, right? So focus on concepts related to climate change solutions as well as initiatives taken by various agencies, including Government of India's initiatives. So that should be the approach that you should follow for climate change theme. Thank you.